Here are your top 10 tips for a new player in EVE Online. You may be sick of hearing it, whether in-game or in videos like this. Everyone seems to suggest this. And there's a reason for that. As a new player, the ships and extra cash are extremely useful. You're supplied with millions of ISK, multiple ships that can fit multiple roles. And you'll get a ship to do scanning, mining, combat frigates, destroyers, and even a ship to haul your goods. Plus the equipment to fit onto these ships. Even if you're thinking there's a topic you're not interested in, like mining, scanning, or being a space trucker, do it anyway. They're fast and easy, and these missions are short and reward you better than anything a new player will see for at least the first little bit. Also, it will give you a surface level knowledge into the various aspects of EVE Online. This may seem like an odd one, but EVE Online is a massive game with over 2 decades under its belt. You don't need to try and learn every aspect. I've heard players comment that even after years of playing, they're still learning new things. Focus on grasping the fundamentals, or pick an avenue that interests you the most to apply yourself to. For instance, if you want to do combat, perhaps just do simple missions for the first couple of days or weeks until you get a grasp on things. If industry interests you, do mining and only mining for a while. Delve into the blueprints and building side later once you've got the basics figured out. Or if you're a super genius, you can do what you like. I'm just a guy on the internet. EVE Online plays very different from other space games and MMOs on the market. Just because you are a master at Star Wars Rogue Squadron or have played other MMOs like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, that's good, but the skills don't really transfer. EVE is played through the interface. I remember watching EVE Online videos years ago and having no idea what I was even looking at. It was an interface with a bunch of blue and red dots in the middle. A 30-minute video, and I never saw a ship in it once, while all the comments were talking about how amazing that was. I knew I was missing something because I had no clue what I was looking at, let alone this being amazing somehow. So take your time and learn those buttons. Remember, you don't control the ship. You control the interface that controls the ship. I won't be going through it all here, as there are better teachers out there for that. Now that you know your interface, how does combat work? This will only cover the basics. To destroy another ship, you must get through all of their shields, armor, and hull while keeping your own above 0. To do this, you need some form of weapon in your high slots or drones in your drone bay to damage the enemy. Every weapon has a range, even drones. By clicking Show Info on a turret, we can see that it has an optimal range. This is the distance we should try to be from the enemy while using this particular weapon. Some ammunition can add or subtract from this range. Ammo that reduces our range tends to do more damage. Drones have a distance at which they can't be from you, called the drone control range found on your ship's fitting page. As for missiles, they don't have an optimal range. The ammunition has a max flight time multiplied by the missile's velocity to determine how far it can shoot. Now for determining whether we'll hit the enemy or they'll hit us. For our gun turrets and drones, we're going to assume we are within our weapon's optimal range for this example. When our ship fires, our weapon's turret tracking is compared to the enemy's ship size and angular velocity. Angular velocity is determined by the speed at which a ship is moving parallel to its target. You can increase yours by orbiting the enemy at close range, or you can reduce theirs by keeping them at a distance, reducing that angular velocity. There are also 4 damage types that you or your enemy can shoot or have protection against. But I'm just keeping this to the basics for now. Everything in EVE Online can be made, bought, and sold by players. Most things are put up for sale on the market, with each faction having their own specific trade hub, a specific station where the majority of players do their buying and selling in that area. This doesn't mean you have to be at that location to buy or sell anything, it just means that's where most of the buying and selling happens. In EVE, enemies don't drop gray items with the sole purpose of vendoring it to an NPC for money. The vast majority of items have a purpose and are therefore sold to other players. Players in the game don't have to only put up items they're looking to sell, they can also put up market orders of things they wish to purchase by selecting how much they're willing to pay and how much of that item they want to buy. When you select an item and choose to sell it, it isn't the game buying it, it's another player. The game is just showing you how much another player is willing to pay for it in that particular station. For some items, it's good to look around and find out how much the item you're trying to sell is actually worth. Locations in EVE have various security statuses for different areas of space, such as high security, low security, and zero space, to name the major ones. If one player attacks another anywhere in high security, they will be branded as bad, and overwhelming NPC ships will attack the aggressing player. In low security, if a player attacks another, they will be branded as bad, but will only be attacked by NPCs at the gate. In zero space, or nullsec, anything goes, anywhere. If you've been branded bad enough times, you can be attacked on site in high security areas until you've regained your reputation. Areas in low security and nullsec can be dangerous, but significantly more money can be made here. Your ship and everything on it can be destroyed by another player or NPC in the game, and that's okay. If another player is willing to lose security status or get themselves destroyed, they can attack you in high security space. These losses can, and probably will, happen. The best way to mitigate this issue is also one of the most common tips given to new players, and that's don't fly what you can't afford to lose. The best rule of thumb for this is simple. If you want to buy a shiny new ship and fully fit it, think about if you can, right then and there, buy one or two more of these fully fitted. If you can't, then probably don't. EVE is prided as being one, if not the best, sandbox MMO to ever exist. But this freedom for you to do whatever you want also means that others can do whatever they want as well. This means that people can put up fake contracts to try and scam you, or put a message in chat saying they'll double any money you give them, or say they're leaving the game and will give you their stuff, but that's probably a scam as well. Assume everything in chat or mailed to you is a scam unless you can prove it's not. Some players will also try to bait a new person in various ways in an attempt to get themselves flagged for PvP. So be careful, because some people are master baiters. As previously stated, EVE is a massive sandbox game, and that means that everyone of every skill level is playing alongside everyone. If you PvP, you will go up against anyone. They could have billions of ISK worth of fittings on their ship, implants in their clone, or using boosters, and they could have tens of millions of skill points beyond what you do. PvP combat is not separated. This doesn't mean you shouldn't do it and shy away, it just means you should be aware. This also goes for anything being made and sold on the market. You can and will be competing on an industry level with other well-established players. Your first goal shouldn't be to fly a Titan and take part in one of those massive battles you see advertised. It can be something to work towards, but not the first goal. Perhaps start by setting a goal to make 50 million ISK. Finish all level 2 security missions with ease. Scan your first data site in low security space, or take part in your first mining op in high sec. Many small goals succeeded are better than one giant goal you may never reach. If this has helped even one person, I'll call that a win. Well, that's it for me. See you out there.